welcome to Basketball Talk Pro. This is a pretty wide subject we got, so I've had to narrow it down and to try to hit just the high points of it. The very first question you have to ask yourself with preparing an offense or what you want to do offensively, you have to ask yourself, what is the purpose of an offense? Well, what's it supposed to do? Very few people really could answer that question on their own offense. There would be some things said, but have they really gotten to the heart of it? Well, here's what I would like to tell you about that. In my mind, there's only one thing that an offense is created to do, and that is to provide, to develop uncontested shots. Because uncontested shots, whether you realize it or not, determine your success offensively. And to prove that, I would like to go now to a chart that will show you how important that is. And that's what you should be designing, thinking, and preparing your offense. We'll go to the chart.
Okay, I hope the background noise doesn't bother you. We have a little background noise. Well, we have just got done saying that getting uncontested shots is what your offense should do for your players and your team. And this is why we feel that way. First of all, this is a very strong study because it goes over 1,050 shots taken in the NBA playoffs. When the best in the world are playing at the best they can play. And so it's not skewered in any way. This is very accurate. But let me show you the key points. Let's take layups. Uncontested layups means nobody contested the shooter on that. The percentage on that, in other words, their shooting percentage was 95% when a layup is uncontested. But look at how it drops when it's contested, down to 49%. And overall, they'll shoot 63% on layups. The contesting and uncontesting have a tremendous effect, even on layups. Just throw this out. We value our shots. I think we will tell you that number one is the key for the team that you should strive for. In other words, you score 1 point for every shot attempt that you make. In this case, layups, the value is 1.26. They get, for every layup they get, they're scoring a 1.26 value. Now inside 15 feet, not counting layups, it's a little different. Uncontested, 67%. Contested, 36%. The percent of contested, this is the key to why the paint shot is not very effective. It's because 92% of them were contested, and only I don't know the percentage for sure on that, but the value per attempt inside in the paint is only 0.77. On 15 to 3-point line, 0.77. 3-point shots are interesting. Uncontested 3-point shots in the playoffs with NBA players, they shot a percentage of 61% uncontested. It drops to 32% when you contest. There's a second thing about this. when you're shooting 32% on threes when they're contested, you are going to get a lot of defensive rebounds. And that is one reason for contesting threes, because chances are you're going to get a defensive rebound for every contest that you make. Um, so down here, but they do score at a high level, 1.25, the second best of all these shots. In other words, on your threes, for every shot you attempt, you're going to earn 1.25 points. Uh, and rebound attempts, you can see 83% uncontested, 31%. Let's go down now to the total. Uncontested shots, all in that 1,058 shots, I think it is. Yeah, they shot 68%. Uncontested shots, all of these shots, they scored, they shot 36%. The overall value was 0.97. What you're looking for is the number one. Number one and up is when you're good. Number 99.99 and down is you're deteriorating. So this will show you the importance, or should show you, the importance of a field goal percentage in winning or losing.
Well, uncontested shots determine your field goal percentage, not effective field goal percentage, true field goal percentage. You made so many shots and you had so many attempts. Very simple. But that particular number, field goal percentage, determines almost all winning. And we've done many, and I've shown it in this in Basketball Talk Pro, 600 and some games of high caliber, playoffs in the NBA, NCAA tournament, men and women, and it doesn't make any difference. Basically, it can be said just like this. The team that has the highest field goal percentage over their opponent wins 80% of the time. Think about that. So simple. That's the major evaluation that you can give to your offense. Right now, 47% and up, usually, unless you've got a poor defense, usually will put you as a top field goal percentage. And so it's something to shoot for, but it isn't guaranteed. It's game to game. Now I'd like to show you a chart of types of shots, because there's a lot of things being said, but I'll explain it in the chart. So let's go to that second chart now.
Okay, I want to make sure you understand that this particular study was not this past playoffs, but in 2017. But this is really regular season numbers. So it was the 2016, 2017 season. And I'm trying to show you this because I want you to see where points come from, because there's a lot of media attention right now that is inaccurate. I've always told you, don't listen to the games. Mute it and watch the games. I mean, you don't listen to a game when you're at an arena. you watch the game and you watch it a lot better because you're not listening to people tell you a lot of things that are not correct. Uh, Let me show you that this is the number of points Boston scored in 82 games from 2-point baskets. Uh, they this is the total percentage of their points were 49%. This shows the points scored from 3-point baskets. 33% of the points scored, and this shows what points were scored from free throws and the percentage. Now, the thing that I want you to understand is that Boston, who is one of the teams that used the 3-point shot a lot, only scored 33% of their points on 3-point baskets. You can't hardly say that that is dominant. A combination of 2 points and free throws scored a lot more points than 3 points did. But I bring you down to the bottom now. 56 on the average of all the teams, 56% were scored on 2-point baskets of the points. Only 27% for the whole league were scored on 3-point shots. Free throws scored 17% of the points. So this is really a small number compared to free throws and 2-point baskets. They are not the dominant force in winning or losing. Uh, they're they're a very small percentage of their total points. Let's just take a look. One of the teams that renowned for it because of Curry uh, is this team right here. 31% of their points were scored on threes. That's all, a third. 54% were scored on twos, and 15% were scored on ones. So this is the team that won the championship. Now let's look at the team that lost to them. 49% of their 2 points were on 2-point shots, baskets, but they scored 35% of their points on threes and 16%, which is down a little, on the free throws. But as you recall that series, it was Golden State all the way, but they were doing it with twos and free throws. San Antonio that year, if you remember the series, was the dominant team other than Golden State in the West. And they came in with higher uh, uh, win and loss percentage, everything. They were the dominant team coming in, but they had an injury. Not, I guess it was in the first game of the playoffs, of a conference playoffs. When they lost that player, everything kind of went to pieces for them. But during the season, one of the real dominant teams, 57% of their points came from twos, only 26% came from threes, and 17% came from free throws. I want you to remember that so that when you're building your team, your offense, you don't make the mistake of listening to talking heads tell you that this team wins because of 3 points. There isn't a team on that list that won because of 3-point shots. You can take a picture of it, go home and study it. And it's even a bigger gap, by the way, this past year. I mean, it's close, of course, when you consider 82 games. But this is a telling number, and it'll help you to make your decision on what kind of offense you're going to run, how you're going to do it.
you know, these are pretty simple but very hard and fast data that we're using. Anything I've told you has been proven with data, not just something I think about. It's actually proven with the use of statistics. One other thing I would like to leave you with, and this too has been proven over and over again. I've been doing this one for, maybe 30, 35, 40 years. And it always holds true. When you're playing, when the game is going on, you think in terms of plays and systems, fast breaks, that sort of thing. But it's proven that that you are going to score 70% of your points off of unstructured play. And your opponents are too. They may have more of the points in you or less, but it's going to come out that they are in unstructured play. The play breaks down. The fast break doesn't get a shot. The team just does things on their own. Those don't sound like a lot of important things, but when you add them up, they are monstrous in a game. And you must remember that, because when you're preparing your offense, we know uncontested shots are the thing that you have as a purpose. And we know that the team with the best field goal percentage wins 80% of the time. We have to seek that, but you want to seek it mostly in unstructured play. So you prepare to play well in unstructured play. That is the reason, that's the whole purpose of the Monk offense, because we can attach it to our plays and our fast break and have something when it breaks down. The players are going to do it anyway, and they do it well without your coaching, but they can do it better and more as a team with your coaching. Don't forget that, and keep it in your mind. Don't just don't fluff it off, because it's very important. It'll make you a lot better team. Well, I put up 5 principles that you should think about in the construction of an offense. Be unpredictable. The Monk offense, or any freelance offense, is highly unpredictable. That's why they're so effective. Most offenses, we know what they're going to do for at least 2 or 3 options. So you can predict what's going to happen, what they're going to do, and how you defense it. But when it comes to that point where the play breaks down, there is no predictability for the defense, because there isn't any predictability for the offense. They don't know what they're going to do. They're going to have to make it up as they go along. But it's very effective, and especially if it's coached, it's very effective. The other thing is number of plays. Number of plays, number of set anything. Very difficult for players to learn that. You think that just by saying, well, we're going to have this play and this play, and that registers with them. The chances are about 90% it doesn't. They have to just kind of fumble around with it. Don't make it harder for your players. I have coached for I don't know how many years with just 4 or 5 plays. I don't want any more. I'm going to show you, there's an offense. You can go to the videos. You can see cut 1, cut 2, automatic, exchange. That's it. That's our set offense. But we don't need any more. It works fine. It does the job that we want it to know. The secret of that is that the players do the same thing over and over again in games and in practice. They get very good. They know the subtleties of it. They learn leaning in here, cutting here. They learn all those things. And that's what makes your offense good. But if you run, and I've been assistant in the NBA for coaches that had over 100 plays. We couldn't run any of them. Narrow it down. I really mean 4 or 5 plays. You'll be happy if you do. One principle that your offense has got to have is to scramble the defense. When the defense is scrambled, they're very weak. They're weak for drives, they're weak for shots, they're weak in almost every element. But the key is, when you do it, that you don't scramble yourself, because that's going to weaken your offense accordingly. Scramble the defense, don't scramble yourself. And a well thought out freelance offense will do that. Execution. You don't work hard enough in practice on execution. It's kind of like it's just there. No one really goes through the motions on it. But as coach, it's your job to discipline them to execute just like they were going to do it in a game. Otherwise, they won't do it in a game. So be attentive to that. Passing. I teach all my passing in practicing our plays. I don't have drills for that. I don't need it. I mean, I don't allow players on the fast break to come down and just bounce the ball. It's going to be a sharp, quick chest pass. I expect players feeding the post from the wing to be able to throw a variety of passes, but not slow passes, to be quick and precise. That's part of the execution. Your plays won't look real good if you don't do things like that. And the last one, something that very few do, otherwise they would know what I know, that plays are not very effective. Measure your results. Simple. Just, it's OER. You have so many, you run that play 10 times, you score 8 points, well, that's .80. You're looking for number 1. That's the number. That tells you if you're bad or good. So you want plays that are 1.2, 1.1, that would be tremendous. I did 5,000 plays of the NBA when I was scouting, and they were at .68. That means that every play that they ran only got them .68 of a point. They had to run 2 to get 1. But they didn't know that. They had no way of being able to say if they were good or bad. So measure your results. You do these 5 things very consistently, attentive to what your players are doing, and with a certain amount of intensity. There's nothing wrong with having some intensity in practice. Now, veteran players, it's very easy for them to go into this, we've done this, we've done that, I'm been playing now 12 years, and you can't tell me anything, but you can, and if you do that, you ought to see a practice with Jerry Sloan. I'll guarantee you that the veteran players are playing hard, and they're practicing hard, and they take pride in it. They want that. Well, I want to close it with just the videos. I'm going to give you a list of 20 because there's actually 39 videos on offense in the archive. But I cut it to 20, and I tried in that 20 to kind of touch base on everything. But there's another 19 or to 20, and maybe more, that are sitting back there for you also. So you can, if you it would just take a couple weeks and go through those videos, you would have a very good idea of offensive basketball. Well, that's it for today. We're getting close to the end, and so I'll see you next time, and thanks for watching.
Okay, I will leave this on for approximately 1 minute to allow you to either stop it, picture it, read it, or do what you want to with it. But remember, there are many more uh, in the archive that also deal with offense.